Oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like the topic tonight, scared stiff. I've never seen anyone scared stiff. I know it happens, you just can't move. I've been scared to the point of shaking, but I could always move and I could always talk. The best I've heard or witnessed of someone being scared stiff had to do with a bat. Bats are scary, and I had a roommate who was studying mammalogy. It was a study of mammals, and bats are mammals, and he had to do a mammal experiment. So he went out to a cave, and he got a couple of bats, and he brought them in, and he put them in our refrigerator. And the bats go into hibernation when it gets cold, so they were hanging upside down from the rack in our refrigerator. And they were fine for a couple of weeks until the weather got warm. We kept opening the refrigerator to get something cold to drink, and the bats escaped. And one of the bats was much more clever than the other one. He found a way out and got out of our apartment. The other one couldn't find a way out. He was our pet bat for a few days. He'd sit up in the corner of the living room, and we'd come in, and he'd fly up to like an inch of our face, and just, oh, it's you, and went back. And then it got warmer still because spring was advancing, and we had our front door open. We had lived in this house that had two apartments upstairs, and the guys next door had their door open, and the bat saw an opportunity. Flew out of our apartment and into theirs. These guys were not biologists. They're waiters at the Holiday Inn. So one of them was more afraid of bats than the other one, and he went and he shut himself up in the bathroom. The other guy grabbed a tennis racket and chased the bat out the back door. And his immediate thought is, I'm going to get that son of a bitch. So because they were waiters at the Holiday Inn, they had to wear these big black bow ties at work. So he went into his dresser drawer and he got his black bow tie. And he came up to the bathroom door and he put the bow tie like right here and started pounding on the door. Bob, 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 help me, Bob. It's got me by the neck. Bob, Bob. Bob opened the door and he went, ah! And Bob was not scared stiff. Bob was so scared he jumped off the bathroom floor into the bathtub and went like this. But I have some science to bring to my tell. I was once told about a study about what people fear. And that's, of course, very relevant to tonight's talk. You'd think your own death would be the thing that would scare you the most. Times when I've come close to death, I didn't have time to get scared. And your own death ranked number 3. It was up there, but it was only number 3. Life is wonderful, death is peaceful, but the transition can be problematic. So not surprisingly, number 1 was a serious disease. You know, when you're lying there and either you're afraid or you're going to die, or like when I was in the Peace Corps, I had amoebic dysentery, and I didn't think I don't want to die. I don't want to die here. Because I was in this dirty third world hotel, and I wanted at least to get back to my house. Now, guess what number 2 is?
Public speaking.
Public speaking, yes. Public speaking. Just about all of the experience that I've had when it involved my body shaking had to do with public speaking. The only other time I can remember when I was so scared that I shook, I was walking along a jungle trail next to a river in Belize, and I saw a sandbar with all these big scratches on it. And I thought, that's either a really big iguana or a crocodile. And a few paces further on, I saw this big, scaly reptilian leg about this big under the water. And then I saw something pop up in the water that kind of looked like a log. Well, you know, crocodiles look like logs. And my legs started shaking because these small crocodiles can gallop. You see them, they get up on all fours and they go like this, and they can run faster than I can. But all the other times that I can think of where I've been shaking was when I was in front of a group of people. Because, you know, if you're dead, it's not your fault. If you're sick, it's generally not your fault, unless you've got some really bad habits that put you there. But if anything goes wrong when you're speaking in public, it's always your fault. They say that the most difficult part about being a professional baseball player is to mess up in front of thousands of people and go out and do it again. They say the same thing about a comedian. It's not a matter of when you're going to bomb. It's not a matter of if you're going to bomb. It's only a matter of when, because the time will come, you will bomb. At times when I've been speaking in public, I start sweating. Sometimes tears come into my eyes. Sometimes I start shaking. And often I have no clue that it's going to happen. It happened to me once. I was teaching a class. I taught the class 3 days a week for an entire semester. In the middle of the semester, all of a sudden, I felt that they don't like me. And I started sweating, but I got through it. But anyway, for those of you who are too chicken to come up here, I challenge you to come up and try it. Thanks.